Gym and fitness studio owners, in today's video, I'm going to break down how our clients like Chrissy are getting texts like these from their prospects saying, hey, I want to join. What are the next steps? And what do I need to do? Versus you having to do 100 reach outs with your team to see if anyone's interested in your free trial, in your 6-week challenge, or your promo. Okay. We're going to break this system down. That's literally helping my clients like Chrissy again increase her revenue by 46% year to date, being July her most profitable month in her 8 years of business. July, okay? This shit works. You follow what I say, I promise you're not going to have a lead flow problem. You're not going to have a sales problem. You'll just only have an implementation problem if you don't do what I say. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, let's rock and roll and get into it. So we're talking about how we're going to build a system, or I'm going to show you the system that is built that gets people to become a lead for you and also sales for you. So we have to understand how people are buying in the market. So Google did a article based on the buying decisions and the buying habits of people on Google. When they literally go on Google and they're searching for ads and making decisions, what are the habits that cause someone to go from a cold lead into a high paying client? And it's very simple. They broke it down into 3 numbers: 7, 11, 4. They said that a prospect needs to spend at least 7 hours on brand or absorbing that brand's content, blog, information, newsletters, whatever. They need to be touched at least 11 times, meaning touch points, right? They're being reached out to, or they have caused 11 engagements, they themselves liking, sharing, whatever, on 4 different platforms. Okay, so they need to jump different platforms and different platforms. If a prospect does that, they end up buying. Okay, so how does this look on a graph compared to what we used to think? So if I were to draw a graph here, okay, and on this graph we have time on brand, and down below we have time on list. Okay, and when I say list, I say your CRM, your missed guest reports, whatever reports you're pulling for your team to reach out to get these people to join with you, right? There's a time on the list that we thought they needed to be on before they become a buyer, and the 7-11-4 rule really changes that, because our thought process was originally, right, they opt in for a free trial, they may have been reached out to, they don't respond right away, they're just curious, but they haven't really checked anything out. You keep sending them messages about any offers that are going on. The more messages you send about offers and promos, and finally they check out your Instagram a little bit, they get familiar with you, and then eventually the right offer shows up, and then they buy, right? And some of these people might buy 90, 30, 60, 120 days from their first engagement or opt-in with you. And that's just not sustainable, because leads cost money and time. So what we want to do is we want to be able to shorten that. And so how we shorten that is by following what Google talked about, which is the 7-11-4 rule. Okay. If they spend 7 hours in our world, in our content, in our information, and they do 11 touch points or 11 engagements on 4 different platforms, and we focus on that, all of a sudden, that individual likes the brand, trusts the brand, ready to make a decision, and there doesn't even need to be an offer, right? They just want it. They're just ready to rock and roll, right? Because of time on brand. So what happens here is that the leads that are coming in now are buying sooner than later for you, compared to what you were doing in the past, which is, let's just be honest, random posts, community boards, all that stuff. We've all done it, okay? I'm not blaming you for that. That's what you know. But now that we know that the 7-11-4 rule is in play, not only are we going to save money on lead acquisition, we're going to be able to get more sales in a short amount of time, making us way more money. And there's not much of a difference that we need to do other than understanding that principle, right? 7-11-4, okay? If we understand this principle, we're rocking and rolling. Now, typically, like most bullshit coaches, would just leave you that video. But I'm actually going to show you the system on how to actually implement this in your business. Okay. And this is, this is the most important part of the video. Okay. I call this the momentum circuit. Okay. This is the momentum circuit because it requires, like anything with anything of momentum, it requires you to do stuff to cause it, but once it goes, it flows on its own and it goes in a circuit. Okay. It just keeps moving and flowing naturally. Okay. I also chose circuit because fitness, right? Circuit training, all that crap. Thought it'd be cool. Okay. But let me just break it down real simple. In the first phase of this circuit, the first circuit, if you will, okay, with what I just showed you about the 7-11-4 rule, you now have to accept that social media is a requirement for your business. Could you grow your business without social media? Absolutely. No doubt about it. I did it when I was operating gyms. It was hard, but not impossible. Okay. However, in 2025, you have to be an idiot to not use social media to generate leads and build your business and growth. Because literally everybody, even you right now, are on a form of social media, watching this video, consuming content. Everybody. And with fitness, who we're helping is certain people, but they're all literally on their phones. Everyone, every class, every individual, any person you're targeting, I guarantee you has a phone. Okay. And they're on these social platforms. So you need to get your short form content in. Okay. That's Instagram. That's TikTok. Okay. That's even LinkedIn. And when I say Instagram, I also say Facebook because there's still people, depending if you're targeting, like some of our clients have an older demographic, they still use Facebook. So I would include Facebook in that. But your short form content is super important. But the job of the short form content isn't necessarily to sell anybody, right? You're not going to go up to a stranger and just start selling people. And that's what a lot of gym owners mess up on. Why? Because short form content typically is what? 30 to 90 seconds long? Like, yeah, you can make a 3-minute reel, but who's watching a 3-minute reel on Instagram? Let's be real here, okay? So with that theory, it's like, okay, well, if we have the 7-11-4 rule, how the hell are we going to get people to watch 7 hours of content for my fitness studio? Like, not that entertaining, and I'm not like, and you're right. You might not be as entertaining as some influencers and whatever, but that's the key secret about this circuit, okay? Is that it doesn't just rely on short form content. What we want to do is we want to move the traffic from short form content into long form. Now, in my opinion, I don't have any data to back this up. I'm just looking at from what we're seeing from what our clients are doing and what the market is doing, okay? YouTube is about to be the biggest thing that you can do for your business because YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is a search engine, and YouTube is being utilized as a search engine. So when people are maybe looking for you on Google and seeing your gym location, they may check out your Instagram and they may see like the typical things on there. But then if you take them to YouTube and you have 10-minute, 20-minute videos on there talking about your studio, showing the event you ran, the community events you're doing, a day in the life of a studio owner, people are going to be so much more connected with you and resonate with you. And guess what? I've said about 15 to 20 minutes, right? If they're watching videos consistently, that's going to hit the 7-hour mark a lot faster than these guys. So we want to get them on a long form platform. Does it have to be YouTube? No. You can go on your own website and write blogs, okay? But I am telling you that YouTube is growing immensely, and it's actually helping small channels out. So if you're someone who's saying, well, I don't have a big YouTube channel, like I don't have a lot of followers, subscribers, it doesn't matter. The algorithm is absolutely insane at the moment. And while I don't really care to talk about the algorithm, if we can hijack it for a brief moment of time to advance ourselves a little bit more, hey, we're noticing that YouTube is literally pushing smaller creators, smaller channels out there to get more views. Okay. So the next box, okay, we got them from Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. We get them to YouTube where they're watching our long form content. What's the next place we need to take them on? Okay. Well, where I think it would be the most valuable, okay? Not to say we can't make sales here, because we probably could, to be honest with you. If you got people going to your YouTube channel, watching and commenting, you can, but here's the problem, right? We haven't caught any really lead data other than if you're offering a free trial. And we know that if you're offering free trials and all this free shit, you're going to get low quality low quality leads, and you're going to be wasting your time. So how can we capture the best leads that we possibly have? We make a move to the next step, and in my opinion, this is groups. Okay, groups, communities, whatever you want to call them. Okay, and I think the best place right now is Facebook groups. Okay, Facebook groups are super easy. It doesn't require much. People already have Facebook accounts. They can opt in. But here's what I would say that you need to include in this is that in order to opt in, they need to give you an email address. Okay? So they give you their email address. You have that. And the reason why you want an email address is, Meta could shut down. Google could say YouTube is done. And all your subscribers and followers on there are worth nothing because you have no true real estate. But email addresses pretty much are lasting forever. I mean, they've been around since the dawn of the internet. So collecting email addresses to have them in your newsletter, which I do believe newsletters are super effective if they're written appropriately for their messaging. Okay. And I'm going to make content about that too. Is just a really important step of also getting somebody to make a transaction. They're exchanging their email address and their contact info to have access into the group. Okay. Now, what you do in the group, you can include your YouTube videos in the group. You can host discussions in the group. You can post educational value in the group. See, where gym owners get all messed up is they put all their educational crap in their Instagram and their TikToks, and it's okay to put it on there, but most people don't care about that. But if they're in the group, they're seeking that information because they came from YouTube. Like YouTube, again, is a search engine. They're seeking for information. So in the group, they're seeking for that knowledge. They want to learn. So the more information you put in there, the more value you're going to get, right? The other thing is you could put your offers in the group and you know that people are going to buy, or you can use your email list and reach out to people because all those people on your email list are people that literally gave it to you for access in this group. There's way more value to that versus a free class, right? So you have their email, they're in the group, they're absorbing even more content. What eventually ends up happening is they reach out to you and they become a client. And we love that, okay? Because that means we're making money, and that also means we're changing a life, okay? Now, once they become a client, what happens there, okay? Well, they get a result. They get a transformation. People don't buy features, they buy transformations. So we document this transformation for this client, and then we install it back into the short form content because that's the best place to display proof. People need to like and trust you, right? And they need to respect you. But the best proof is transformations that you've given other people. So we take the client success, we put it back into short form content and show how this individual did, and on it goes. And if you noticed, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different platforms. I'm not even including the fact that TikTok and LinkedIn and IG are their own platforms in themselves. They are. But if we were to just say what I believe are the four main platforms, it's the short form platform, the long form platform, the group platform, the email platform. Those are four different places to initiate engagement, right? And so in the short form, they may like, right? They follow, right? So guess what? That's 2 touch points. Okay. Then they go into YouTube and they like, they comment, they may like another video. You probably will like 3 videos. Okay. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points. We're already at 6 total touch points. Okay. Then they get in the group, and guess what they're doing? They're submitting their information. So information submitted, that becomes a touch point. So that's 7 touch points. Then they made comment, that's 8 touch points. Then they're getting an email, right? That's 9 touch points, right? Then there's more engagement, and so all the touch points are naturally happening until you get to 11. I can't tell you guys how crazy valuable what I'm showing you is, because this is what the biggest brands do, okay? They don't chase leads. They create a magnetic force and attraction, and they're not worried about posting all the time because they have found ways to create content that moves in a circuit like this. And so if you literally apply what I'm talking about in this video, I promise you, you're going to see results happen. But they require a few things. Okay. 1, they require you to be consistent. You have to be consistent. The biggest problem for gym owners is not fucking consistent. Okay. Most people aren't. Let's just be real. They're not consistent. Why? Because it's mundane, it's boring. Well, guess what? That's work, man. It's mundane and it's boring. It's required. You have to do it. You have to post content. You have to get everything out there. You have to do it. Your business is relying on it. Okay? You have to be consistent. Number 2, you have to be analytical, but not perfect. Most people struggle with posting content because they're trying to make sure it's perfect. Versus if they were just posting it to see what people liked and what they didn't like, they get a better gauge of what they need to do and what they don't need to do. Okay? You need to be analytical because you have to understand what people are actually engaging with so that you can focus your time on making that type of content. But you cannot be perfect. Okay? Don't be perfect. No one's perfect. That's the fun of entrepreneurship. You're supposed to have fun, going a little crazy all together. But don't try to be perfect, okay? Be analytical. And 3, this ties a little bit to the second one, but failure is feedback. And I know my handwriting is shit, but I got a whole mess going on over here. Failure is feedback, okay? The more times you fail, the more times you'll understand what works so that you can pivot and crush, okay? You cannot get emotional. You cannot get emotional on this shit, guys. It's not worth it. Social media is not meant to be emotional. That's why everyone's all fucked up with it, okay? It is one of the best advertising platforms that we have been blessed with in any fucking lifetime, okay? So I'm just going to end it there because I'm going to start going off on a tangent. Take this information, rock with it, roll with it, have fun with it. If you like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to see more. If you're interested in even more detailed content, go into the description. I have a free school community. There's no charge to join as of yet, as of this date of what I'm saying. That may change, but as of right now, you can go in there. You can get a lot of my content, all the vaults that I have completely for free. And then be available for any workshops that we're hosting that month. So I appreciate your time. I want to help you get more members, live a better life, get you a business that you're truly happy working in and gaining freedom from. So take this, apply it, rock and roll with it, and I'll see you in the next video.